Hey everybody, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I'm Bill. We're logged into Pilot Edge and going to do a little challenge that I had in the back of my mind for a while and just decided that today was the day to do it. This is going to be a 4-leg trip. It's going to be a Gulf Echo Delta Charlie Bravo airport trip. And each leg we're going to step up to a bigger plane the further we go. So the first leg is we're leaving from this tiny little airport. It's in Anza. It's called Lake Riverside. It's a private field. Let's pull up ForeFlight here. I'll show you briefly what the route's going to be. And we're going to break this up, but this is the routing. So we're going to go from this Lake Riverside little private uncontrolled class Gulf airport to uncontrolled Echo Flaybob, and then we're going to take probably a 172 to Long Beach, and then which is a Delta, and then from Long Beach we're going to take, I think, the Bonanza, if we can get that to work, to Santa Barbara. And then we'll take the Citation to San Francisco all the way up here, which is a Bravo. That is the plan, and I'm excited for it. So if you want to join along, load up on Pilot Edge, you can. If you want to join along at a future date and you're watching this on YouTube or somewhere, join the Discord. The link is below, and that community is growing very rapidly. It's super fun, and it's just non-stop conversations about aeroplanes all day long. So let's get this little cub started. I have my radio panel ready to go, which I'm super excited to try with these various planes. And yeah, we'll head out to Flaybob. Slugbug, happy little Friday. All right. We're gonna just do kind of like a quick start here. Brakes are on. We're gonna turn on the battery. We're gonna get the strobe coming on. Give it some mixture. Then we're gonna we could probably pull the choke lever out. Let's see if it starts with the choke lever out. Clear friggin' prop. What's up, DJ? Aviate, happy little Friday. Oh yeah. Starts right up. God, that actually sounded really good on that startup. The fuel shut off? I didn't touch any fuel shut off. Okay, so that's good to go. Okay, cool. We're squawking 1200. That's good. And let's monitor guard. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. We can't monitor guard yet. We got to leave this place. And I don't think they're going to have anything. Yeah, they're not going to have anything. Just a little private field. I was wondering if they had a little Unicom. So let's monitor guard until we have to call up Riverside for a transition. So there is that. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Let's see. Yeah, the 172 and 152 for sure, and that's it's a little annoyance of this thing that I've noticed, because those you normally wouldn't ever have. That would never come out. Those fuel shutoffs would never come out. So okay, first leg is we are taking off from a uncontrolled class Gulf airport, and we're gonna go to another uncontrolled, but it'll be class Echo airport. So this is a soft field Gulf. I just wanted to get one of every type of airport. So the only thing that we have to really worry about here is making sure we don't run into anybody. No one's going to be on radio. There is no radio. Doesn't look like any of our neighbors are going to take off. But we are going to depart to the northwest. Where's my wet compass in this thing? Oh, yeah, it's in the panel. So right now we're a little bit northwest, which is good. So we'll basically fly this straight out, cross over Hemet, and go in. I was going to say into March airspace, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go around March. We're going to go over towards Lake Elsinore, drag that down here, and that's going to keep us out of the Charlie airspace for March. I would normally actually just go through that airspace on approach, but we're gonna keep this off radios on this first leg and kind of see how Pilot Edge works. We are going to use some radios, but this will be Pilot Edge uncontrolled with a delta transition in between and a little tail dragger. It's a beautiful little cub. So this is an actual runway here, and it looks like they've kind of figured out that it's a runway as well. Just a big R painted on the grass. Plenty of space for us to take off in this little dude. And then we will just start making our way across the Inland Empire. What's up, Stan? This URL. How's it going, guys? Welcome. Happy little Friday. So we're warmed up, it looks like. I'm gonna kill the flight, and we're just gonna have a nice little flight. I look like Ezio? Nice. I loved that Assassin's Creed. I can't remember which one it was, but I like that one a lot. Oh yeah, look at how much freaking runway this thing has. Piece of cake. So basically, what we can do when we have flight, but I know that we're going to be heading west, so we'll try to stick to Pilot Edge. I don't want to use flight as a crutch. So we'll just keep our eyes out for French Valley. We've got Mount Palomar, which is right there, so we already know that we're pretty close. We tried St. Barts, it failed miserably. That's a tricky one. It's all about timing. Let's pull the power back a little bit. We don't need to push it too much, and just cruise along. Look at how nice this is. Oh, okay. I do like that little airport. That's cool. Are you supposed to kick reversers early or something? Yeah, you can. Most of those planes won't allow you to do it in real life, but yeah, that's one way to do it. It's a function of simulators not really knowing how to do drag, and I shouldn't say not knowing how to do drag, but not really modeling drag very much. So like in a TBM with the props full forward, flaps out, gear down, it's going to be pretty draggy. And it, you know, I mean, first of all, it's not a plane that you would take into St. Barts, so it's a little bit goofy. But yeah, you can hit the reversers pretty in midair. I mean, that's how I did it. I just put the reversers in midair. That's it. What's up, Ashley? How's it going? Oh, you were in the Caravan? Yeah, same thing with that. I mean, that's even a draggier plane. Yeah, you just got to keep it as low as possible over that ridge, and just have the power off. I mean, you essentially just want to be on the verge of stalling as soon as you cross over the roundabout, and then you shove the nose down, gain some speed, and and you should just hold it off until you land. What a drag. There's a character on one of the animes that I've been watching from the beginning, and he always says, "Oh, what a drag." Like all the time. Like it's essentially his catchphrase. Yeah, what a drag. Yeah, it's possible that you were too high. You want to come, like, if here's the ridge, here's the roundabout, and then here's the hill, you want to just be like right over that and then kind of drop down. Naruto. I just finished the 3rd season of Naruto. Uh, 20 feet is too high. Yeah, 20 feet is way too high. You got to be like 10, 15. I mean, you know, 15 is kind of splitting hairs, but yeah, I mean, it's like you want to be like a couple yards away from clipping the fence. Yeah. But again, keep in mind that it is a sim, so it's not going to act exactly like the real thing, really. But yeah, take a look at some real world videos and see, you know, just see how close they actually get to it. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. Motocross, happy Friday, happy evening. You were studying it? Cool. Yeah, you just kind of, you want to have the speed, you know, speed leveled off at the altitude where you're not like, you're not descending and keeping your speed up, power idle. You know, you kind of want to come in at a shallower descent rate, so you're able to maintain a slower speed, and then once you're able to go power idle and put the nose down, you want to be going as slow as possible. What's up, Tony? What's up, man? Good evening. Hello. Let's see, where is the Morongo Casino? It's somewhere out here, I think. I don't know. But yeah, that's Mount Palomar out there, which is one of my favorite driving roads in SoCal. Major hidden gem. Well, I was wondering if this flight was going to be too short, and I really didn't think about it too much. We're doing 87 knots, so I don't think this flight is too short at all. Yeah, let's put the tack up a little bit. Again, we're flying from a uncontrolled Gulf airport to an uncontrolled Echo airport, and we're going to progressively step up airport classifications as we step up aircraft type as well, which is something I've wanted to do for a while, and I kind of just worked out 4 different legs that might be equal distant in terms of flight length. The last one might be a little bit longer because of just not knowing what I'm doing, but I think that it should be spaced out pretty good. So we'll see how this goes, and then just get a taste for the different airport classifications in Pilot Edge and how the different planes in Microsoft are able to handle these airports. The advanced avionic planes I'm pretty not nervous about, but just I'm anticipating having some issues with the avionics and the GPS stuff, especially for the last flight of the leg. But right now, no problem. We're just straight pilotage right now. I'm looking out. I do have ForeFlight open here, but I'm really not going to look at it too much, if at all. I'm going to try not to look at it because I have a good idea of where we're going just by looking at out the window. So we have French Valley is right there over the nose. So we're going to fly over French Valley and then just follow. There's a freeway that goes all the way up to that lake up there, and basically will drop us off right at Flabob, which is the airport that we're going to. So that is really easy to do just by looking out the window, and as we consult ForeFlight just to check to make sure we're not skimming anybody's airspace, we'll be good to go. Yeah, motocross. I'm actually originally a car guy, if you could say originally anything. You know, I grew up, my dad had an airplane, my parents had an airplane when I was first born, and then for a couple years, but I've always been a car guy. I've worked in the automotive industry for years. I've been very fortunate to be around some pretty crazy stuff in the automotive industry. A lot of cool cars, racetracks, development, all kinds of stuff. So I separate them for, you know, the Discord, YouTube, and all that stuff. And don't get me started, because I will go non-stop. Did I ever drop a straight 8 in a 69 Mustang? No, I did not. No, it's okay. It's a good can of worms to open. It's a great can of worms to open. Yeah. Huge car lover. But that being said, for the amount of driving that I've done and cool cars that I've driven, I still prefer flying. I still really prefer flying. And just aviation in general. I know way more about the automotive industry than I do aviation, but I love being a part of aviation a lot more. What about boating? So yeah, my parents sold their plane, and when my sister was born and got a boat, because we lived in the Seattle area, so I grew up on a boat. I think we had a boat for probably 15 years of the 18 years that I lived there. So yeah, I grew up on boats, but it's not really much of a culture there. Totaled the restored Nova. That sucks. Maximus, happy evening. I keep trying to say happy whatever day it is, but good evening is a little bit more universal. I have pretty particular car tastes, but that's the thing about aviation, is that it's a pretty agnostic about what. I mean, a plane's a plane, but don't really feel that way about cars. Yeah, Busta, I agree. It helped me a lot in my various careers, not only with, you know, problem solving and responsibly handling myself in a lot of ways, but also you know, physically handling machinery, which has always been good. When taxiing clear of the runway after landing, who talks to who about contacting ground or what to do next in real life and Pilot Edge? So real life and Pilot Edge, it's going to be the same. A lot of, let me say the laws, the regulations are going to be the same, but functionally they may not always happen in the same way because of traffic and just how many planes a single Pilot Edge controller is handling. So that is a good question. Okay, I'll answer it this way. you need to follow the directions that ATC gives you in terms of exiting the runway. So if you're at a controlled airport and you are cleared to land, you land and then turn off the runway. If you haven't heard anything, you need to stop clear of the runway on the other side of the the active runway markings, and then you contact tower and you tell them that you're clear of the runway, and you might want to give them your location. I'm clear of 20 right at hotel or whatever. They'll then give you your next instruction, and that instruction could be go contact ground. That instruction could be taxi via Bravo, stay on this frequency. So the rule is do what you're told, but if you haven't been told anything, don't go further than just crossing the the active runway markings. For the real world, you might be told what to do while you're still on the runway on a rollout. I am constantly being given instructions before I've even landed at John Wayne, because I like to do a long landing for parking at the other end of the runway. So I'll let it float like all the way down the runway, and I haven't touched down, and tower saying Cherokee 364 contact, turn right when able, contact ground. So that's usually what will happen in the real world. Is they'll probably tell you ahead of time what to do, but basically just do what they instruct you to do is the rule. It might seem complicated because there are many different scenarios in order and speed at which things might happen. But as long as you remember, just do what they tell you to do, and if you haven't heard anything, don't continue on. You'll be fine. So it's easy. It's easy once you've done it just a couple of times. November 723 Juliet Gulf. Thank you very much for following. Welcome. That's a really great question, though. So here's Lake Elsinore, and we're right over that freeway I was telling you about. Oh, look at how cool this looks. So there's the 15 freeway right there, and that's going to take us just straight up into Flaybob Riverside, where we're trying to go. The March Air Force Base Charlie airspace is just right over here, so we're avoiding that because we're not talking to anybody. But we're just going to be cruising along over the lake here. Denise, thank you so much for the follow, or sorry, for the raid. Sorry, my brain was someplace else there for a second. Thank you so much. Welcome. Cuddly Jeeps, thank you for the follow. Welcome aboard. Is it a suffering, Jeeps? Hopefully not. Yeah, Rob, Julia and I used to live right off of somewhere over here for a couple years for work, and yeah, it's quite a town. Sleepless Bee Flying 66, thank you very much for following. Welcome aboard. If you are...
Hey, bird. Whoa, buddy.
2 months. Only 2 months. I thank you, Denise, so much for that. Cheers. 60 days is a lot of time. If you're joining for the first time tonight, welcome. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Bill. I am a private pilot working on my instrument out of John Wayne Airport in SoCal, which is just on the other side of these mountains. And tonight, I'm doing, I guess it's kind of an airport alphabet challenge. I'm going from a Gulf to an Echo to a Delta to a Charlie to a Bravo, and each leg we're switching planes. So we're on pilot edge, and we're just kind of progressing up through the different levels of classification of airport, and just having fun to see see the differences back to back. There are differences, there are a lot of similarities, probably more similarities than there are differences, but it's still fun to see the variety of types of airports and flying that you can do in Pilot Edge, number one, because this is all on the Pilot Edge network. Then, of course, using a flight simulator. We just left a private soft field out in the middle of Anza, California. Now we're headed up to the Inland Empire to land in Flaybob, which is one of my favorite airports in SoCal. Juliet Gulf, thank you so much for the subscription. Welcome. That is another first day follow, first day subscribe. We've had a number of those, and I really appreciate that. That's super cool. So I appreciate you for being here, and I appreciate everybody for being here. But it's awesome to support in the way you guys do. I promise I turn that into avgas, and I've got a bunch of avgas to burn and some really cool videos to share with you guys coming up. I'm in the middle of editing a behemoth right now. Holy crap. Speaking of cars, formation flying with Tanner Faust. You can't rush editing that video. You gotta go very slow and take your time for that. Drift Fox, thank you very much for following. Welcome aboard. Welcome live. Appreciate that a lot. Let's see. I think we have some new Discord followers as well. Alias Mr. Jones, Busta Beats, thank you for joining the Discord, as well as Drift Fox, 10 Decimal Gamer as well, and Cubic. Thank you guys for joining the Discord. Let's give the Discord a little love. We're approaching 1,100 members in Discord, and it's been just such a fun community. If you've got questions, like that, how do you contact ground? That's a perfect question. That if you come up with that at any time of the day, you can ask in the Discord, and you'll have an answer within a couple of minutes. Captain Bird Girl is in there every day on the reg, and we appreciate that. What's up, Code? Saw your bit hacky San Diego Bay tour. Thanks, man. Yeah, so I debriefed that with Brad, my instructor, and I was like, hey, so I was doing the Bay tour, and I was at the 800 foot, and I just went over Lindbergh, and they said I should have gone left, but I thought that there was an unpublished one where you go directly over, and he's like, yeah, there is an unpublished one, but it's like at 1,400 feet. So the tour that I got, I should have looped around, and then they send you over to North Island Tower. It's one of those things, just like the special flight rules, where I anticipate being really easy once you've done it one time in the real world with somebody instructing you, and then after that, it's no big deal. So I am hoping that I will be able to do that at some point soon. Slugbug, wow, thank you so much for the gifted. Oh no, sorry, Slugbug, thank you for continuing the gifted sub from Arnold. I was confused by that wording there, so thank you. It's like, thank you for gifting this. No, wait, I'm not used to seeing continuing. It's awesome. Thank you, dude. Cheers. Riding the hype train. Level 1 hype train. Let's start preparing for what we're going to do next, which is, and I'm going to pull up ForeFlight just so you guys can see how I'm doing this. So right now, we're going to be flying to Flaybob and passing through. We don't have to, but we're going to pass through the Riverside Delta airspace. So if I go into ForeFlight here, I can see that the tower, Riverside Tower, is 21-0. If this sectional wasn't such a cluster, I could also find it here. You can see Control Tower 21-0 right there. So I'm going to dial in 21-0 on the old radio. The old COM1, that's the only option we have in this little beast. Let's see, yeah, you either loop back the same way you came in or ask for the transition over San Diego if you just want to get through the Bravo quickly. Got it. Yeah, it's a great, it seems like it's a great view of the city. So we're gonna cut through the Delta here on the east side and let them know once we're 10 miles from their airspace, which we're coming up to now. So I'm going to give them a call now just to, well, we're going so damn slow. Let's call them over Lake Matthews, actually. Let's call them up over Lake Matthews. I think that's plenty of time. We're monitoring guard. If anything funky were to happen. And we'll just maintain this for a little bit. The Flaybob, actually I take that back. We're not going to maintain this. We're gonna come over a little bit and go direct. We've cleared the March Air Force Base Charlie, and we are okay at our current heading. Such a cute little plane. All right. And the sun is going down, so the color on the webcam is slowly making me look sick. Maybe the next leg will fix that. So I'm going to break this up into 4 parts. So they're going to be distinct parts, and just focusing on the type of airspace. Now, there's nothing really to talk about in terms of how to manage airspace, whether it's Gulf or Echo. That just comes down to a weather minimum requirement. But communication-wise, functionally, on pilot edge-wise, there is no difference between the two. It's just uncontrolled. You don't have to talk. We didn't say anything leaving. Not mainly because there was no published frequency, so just looked outside and we're monitoring guard just to put something in there, and that's pretty much it. Nice little shot. Yeah, this thing is really cool. That's really cool. This is a time builder for sure. Hop in this thing, do 87 knots to Ramona and back, and you can probably put 3 in the book. May not be that bad, but it's pretty bad. Pretty freaking slow. Okay, so let's go to Riverside now.
Shoreline crosswind departure. Exit the Bravo and then maintain VFR 2,500. Departures 134.9er, squawk 6404, Cessna 737 Kilo Charlie.
That's 737 Kilo Charlie. Just want to make sure you heard it's heading 250 until the shoreline, then make a left crosswind departure at the shoreline. Rest of your direct is correct.
Roger, 250 until the shoreline, Cessna 7 Kilo Charlie.
Feedback correct. Green Graph Residential 69 coming out of the Castle and Cook with Al for attacks.
So I got 22.8, which is the Flaybob frequency in, ready to go. And I think Riverside has radar, so we should be okay. They should give us a little helping hand on what to expect once we get there. Riverside Tower, good evening. Experimental 204 Lima Echo, just over Lake Matthews, wanting to transition for Flaybob.
Ready to taxi with Alpha.
Damn it. Blocked. What's up, Ryan?
204 Lima Echo, Riverside Tower, Class Delta transitions approved, Riverside altimeter 29er, 89er.
289er transition approved for Lima Echo, thanks. The Great White North, huh? Sweet.
St. Louis ground. Cessna 122 Tango.
It's not quite white yet, right?
Ron parking.
It's still great, but just not white yet.
Jack 122 Tango, St. Louis ground, runway 29er, taxi via Alpha.
Did it really?
Taxi via Alpha 122 Tango.
All right.
Santa Barbara ground, November 9081 hotel.
So we have clearance to go into the Delta right here.
8081 hotel, Santa Barbara ground, runway 15 left, taxi via Charlie.
It is possible to get in here without talking to anybody, but you're in between two Charlie's airspaces with 5 miles apart. This is a surface ring right here, so that's obviously not going to work. This one you can at least get underneath, I think.
Charlie, Los Angeles, Grand Squawk.
Nope. So the Delta and the Charlie meet there. So you could do it, but you just have to get really creative. And it's so much better just to let Riverside know, to let Riverside Tower know that you're going through. So leaving, you got to be really quick on it, but going in, obviously we've got tons of space to let them know what we're doing.
737 Kilo Los Angeles, ground 25 right, taxi via Charlie 1 Foxtrot.
Okay, so there's Mount Rubidoux. There's our airport right there.
Charlie 1 Foxtrot, Cessna 7 Kilo Charlie.
So that big river with the mountain, that's Flaybob. That river is actually not filled with water ever, but that's where it is. Yes, this looks excellent.
Santa Maria Tower, November 54829er, approximately 13 miles north of the field. Request full stop landing with information Juliet.
Man, I let this thing climb up a lot. I didn't even notice what
Santa Maria Tower,
altitude we were at. Got it up to 4,000 feet.
The right downwind.
Okay, we'll get this out so you can enjoy more of the scenery here. I'm going to give myself a smidge of color back.
Santa Monica Tower, November 1169er Delta Cessna. We are 5,000, field in sight, information Mike.
I also had an IFR flight where
Clear line 2169er Delta.
a friend and I were in the clouds,
Yeah, sir, Presidential
and the pitot tube froze, and we all had to go. On was compass and ATC. Yikes. Yeah, that's icing is not good.
What heading were you assigned to? Tango, full and short runway 29er for the request heading list.
Yeah, Presidential 69er assigned 110 on departure.
Presidential 69, I think runway 16 right, cleared for takeoff.
Alright, 16 right, clear for takeoff on a 110 hitting Presidential 69.
Number 122 Tango, San Luis, make left.
What's up, Hawks? Good to see you too, man. One of the reasons why I like this Cub in this sim is it's trimmed out. I don't know how, but it's trimmed out. Same with the 152. I love getting that thing trimmed out, and it's excellent. Excellent fun. Yeah, this is good. Okay, so we are transitioning the Riverside Delta, which is right here. You can see how close that airport is. There's Flaybob, and then there's Riverside. So they are very, very close together. The Delta has a big bite taken out of it from Flaybob. So Flaybob is actually not technically, but inside of the Delta, effectively. If you just look at a circular Delta airspace, it's like the chunk is taken out of it. It's pretty goofy looking, but it works.
Clear for takeoff, runway 15 left. November 908 Hotel.
Yeah, the 152 is great. It's such a great plane. Oh, sweet. Thanks, Hawks. Seemed like it was a fun thing to do.
Presidential 606.
Yeah. So there's the Delta. No arrivals.
Fort Lima, you're inbound cable.
Negative. We're inbound Flaybob for Lima Echo.
Flaybob, okay. 20 Fort Lima Echo, Flaybob in sight.
Flaybob is in sight, 204 Lima Echo.
For 20 Fort Lima, frequency change to advisory is approved. Have a good one.
Frequency change approved, 204 Lima Echo. Have a great one. We'll see you. So. Flaybob traffic. Experimental 204 Lima Echo, 5 miles to the south, entering a left downwind runway 24, full stop, Flaybob. It's gonna get not very good looking once we get to the airport. It's a little bit goofy in this area with this river, and just the Flaybob airport itself is kind of goofy. So we won't spend a whole lot of time enjoying the sights of beautiful Flaybob. I have an engine that needs building. All right, Motocross, have a great one, man. So when you talk to ATC, is this the same ATC that the real planes are talking to? No, this is it's an online network specifically for flight sim. Yeah. Flaybob traffic, Cub 204 Lima Echo, left downwind 24 Flaybob, full stop. And now this is a Cub, so we do not need to get cozy to Mount Rubidoux, since we could pretty much just pull the power and go straight to the numbers, which is what we're gonna do. Just get this thing trimmed up. Flaybob traffic, Cub 204 Lima Echo will be short approach, runway 24, full stop, Flaybob. Ben, thank you very much for following. Welcome aboard. Okay, so I'm just gonna. I will answer the questions in a moment. I'm going full idle. We're just going right to the numbers here. Normally, like in the 172, you'd get as close to that hill as possible. You get really close. But in this thing, I'm just gonna give it some flaps, pull the powers. Scotsman, type in !learning. Got a little bit of a slip in here. I have not been a part of the 30 series. No, I'm hanging out with my trusty little 1060. Man, these things are so slow. Now this runway is super broken, so I'm gonna hold off landing until past this little deadly bump and park it. A little cattywampus, as they say. Now we're going to turn off here. So that is a Flaybob traffic, Cub 204 Lima Echo, clear 24 Flaybob. So that's untowered to untowered, and you know the distinction between the two is one was soft field and a Gulf classification. So the weather minimums are going to be different, but functionally in terms of communication, other than that one being private, and not having a published frequency, there is no difference. And on Pilot Edge, if somebody was tuned into 22.8, they would hear me. I can't hear anybody else right now because no one else is on 22.8. So if somebody else was in the pattern at Flaybob, I would hear them. So, which is really cool, and it makes you, keeps you honest with your radio communications, knowing that somebody, a paying subscriber with Pilot Edge might be in the pattern here. You never know. I'm going to announce my positions. Vanix, thank you very much for following. Welcome aboard. I should wear a pilot suit. Yeah, I should for sure. Okay, so there is full stop at Flaybob. Let us change planes and head to leg number 2.